Donnie and Dolly, the team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
This is it's just amazing. Strauss-Mann isn't Swedish. He's American.
He's American. He went to Michigan.
You said Swedish.
He's playing in the Swedish league. And hold on a second.
And he played for the Americans at the Olympics.
He played for the Americans.
Our apologies, folks.
Yeah. I'm working on it. I think the Canucks like
you're working on his nationality?
No, he played in Sweden. He went to Michigan. He's an American. Okay. I'm working on the Canucks' interest in this goalie.
Okay. But just to set the record straight, he's an American who plays over in Sweden.
American, played in Michigan, now in Sweden.
Boom. All of our guests today are brought to you by the Waddling Dog Pub, and those guests include Ryan Dempster, standing by. Located 10 minutes from the ferry terminal, the Waddling Dog Pub is the place to be to catch every Canucks game with one of their 19 taps of both domestic and locally crafted beer, wine, and cider, a daily happy hour from 4 to 6, brunch from 11 a.m. to 2, and a fully stocked liquor store attached. There are countless reasons to come, sit, and stay at the Waddling Dog. Strauss-Mann might be there. Joining us now from the MLB network, works Cubs games for the Marquee Sports Network. Just a tremendous Major League Baseball career from Gibson's, Ryan Dempster, longtime friend of the show. How are you, sir?
Good. Well, I'm interested about the waddling dog. I'm thinking if I go there for a happy hour, is that what happens? I walk out of there like a waddling dog?
Yes, and wherever you go, it's going to be happy hour, Ryan. Hey, have I got this right? 4 kids? What's life like with 4 kids?
It's busy. I was talking with a buddy about this last night, and actually, 4 and expecting one too. So 5.
Congrats. Yeah. Wow.
Start to take now. I'm taking up a whole another part of a row on a plane. Before it was just an entire row. Now I'm.
Yeah. I was going to ask you what you're doing after retirement, but now I have a pretty good idea. Hey, have you got
glorified Uber driver? That's it. I'm a
that's true.
Uber driver. I don't get a 5-star rating because I won't put a DVD player in the car. So that's all right.
Yeah, Rick and I can relate. There's 5 kids between the two of us. Do you get back to BC in the off season, or do you get back to BC very often?
No, I'm looking forward to coming up there this summer.
Okay.
My uncle's getting married, so usually I get back quite a bit. Just during all this time, it's been a little bit chaotic. So had a chance to have my parents down for a little while, about a month, a little while back. So I'm looking forward to getting back home.
And Chicago's home now. I got that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Were you confident players and owners were going to get things done and we were going to have a season, Ryan?
I was, yeah. I know it seemed frustrating at times, and we want things to happen quicker than they're going to happen. But I think the reality is when you have negotiations and then you have actual hard concrete deadlines, it usually goes down to the wire on those. I've been a part of it. I was a player rep with the Marlins, a player rep with the Reds, an assistant player rep with the Cubs. So I've been there, and I've walked into a clubhouse in Cincinnati in 2003 and said, "Hey guys, we're not getting on the bus to go travel. It looks like we're going to have to go on strike." And 2 hours later, we're on a bus. So, it's just a matter of negotiations. But I'm glad that it's done and baseball's back, and spring training is going now, and a lot of exciting moving parts, new players in new places, and it's really fun to watch.
Rule changes: pitch clock, universal DH, larger bases, banning the shift. Which one of those rule changes will have the most positive impact? And are you for these? Are you in favor of these rule changes?
Yeah, I love the pitch clock. I just think that, it's got slowed down too much. What happened was years ago, we started to get mental skills coordinators and coaches involved, right? Head coaches to manage the mental part of the game. And the philosophy is always, both from a psychological standpoint and even a physiological standpoint, is take a break, take a deep breath, collect your thoughts, get on the mound. And then from like a physical standpoint, when you do that, you allow all your muscles to recuperate for just that little bit longer and give you that optimum amount of whatever it is, velocity or power output that you're going to be doing. So, but it's slowed the game down so much, and, I looked back because I didn't want to be that guy, when I played, but like you go look, and time of games were like 2:20, 2:30, 2:15. And there was times where I'm waiting, the pitch is being thrown. Now you're pointing to cameras. There's a lot more commercials, there's a lot more things going on that already slow it down. So a pitcher working at a Steve Traxel pace out there slows the game down even more. And so you want it moving, and it promotes things, right? It promotes guys swinging the bat more. It promotes hopefully balls in play more, infielders on their toes more. It just hopefully promotes a little bit more action. I know they did in the minor leagues. And to me, that's the biggest one. The other ones are great. The bigger base is kind of exciting. Maybe that brings back the stolen base a little bit. But yeah, the pitch clock one I think will definitely help the game speed up.
Ryan, I don't admit it very often, but I like it when the Blue Jays do well. I don't tell anyone. But anyways, Vladdy Guerrero, the AL MVP, 91 wins last year. The starting pitching is getting a whole lot better. Hey, they might even be in on Freddie Freeman. We'll see what happens here in the next week or so. Your thoughts on the Blue Jays and where you got them this year in the AL East?
Yeah, I was talking to somebody. I honestly think they can win the AL East. The way they've gone about it, keeping guys that they need to keep, and then also the collective core of young players that they got. I mean, we saw what these guys did the last, 2 months, 6 weeks of the season, where they just demolished Major League pitching. Their hitting is dynamic, explosive. They can hit homers. They got young players who, got some speed and can stretch doubles into triples or singles into doubles out there. They do everything you need to do offensively. The question was pitching. So when you go out there and you're able to, get a Kevin Gossman, retain a Jose Barrios, you're able to do these things where, you shore up some of your depth, and then you go out there and you get Kikuchi, and that's huge. That's just, the more depth you can have, the better your pitching is. Good pitching is always going to be good hitting. And so the more you have of that, the better. And now you're at this point. So, okay, you try to get Freddie Freeman, and you get Freddie Freeman, you can go, oh, okay, maybe we're all right with a little less pitching because we've added such an incredible offensive player. Now, if you don't get Freddie Freeman, you can use those resources to maybe try and go get another pitcher somewhere, whether that's via trade or on the free agent market, whatever it is. But I just love what they've done, and they're really starting to hit that window now. I think a healthy George Springer throughout the year. I know they lost Simeon, but at the same time, another year of development of these guys. I just think they're so much fun to watch. And, when they're winning games, that stadium's going to be rocking, man. And that's a tough place to play when that place is going.
Ryan, I think I got 20 Canadian-born players in Major League Baseball. I think I got 4 from BC. I remember when you broke in, it was a big deal. I remember interviewing you back in the late 1990s. Your thoughts on Canadian baseball and producing Major League players?
Yeah, I just think, I think it's grown. I think we went from having a few guys in the league that were good to some prospects that had the possibilities of getting there. And now when you look around, like you said, 20 guys in the major leagues and plenty of guys in the minor leagues. And I just think it shows, just how when you expand the game globally and north of the border, back in the homeland in Canada, it's no different. I mean, the ball players are good. Whether they're playing really good high school ball or the work that the Canadian junior team does and the junior programs up there, and from coast to coast, anybody can come from anywhere now. And I think that's, players see it as much more of a reality. When I was coming up, it was still a little bit of not the norm. Or maybe that just kind of seems like not the most logical choice if you're going to try and play professional sports. So now everybody knows they got an opportunity, they got a chance, and they can come from a little small town like Gibson's, or they can come from a big city like Toronto. It doesn't matter. You're just as good as anybody on the other side of the border or anybody in the world, and you can compete with them. And I think it's really great, and we're going to see more and more Canadians playing in the big leagues.
Yeah, don't sell yourself short. You're a trailblazer, Ryan. Do you ever think we're going to see MLB return to Montreal?
Oh man, I get so excited every time I start reading something.
Yeah.
I know Eric Gagne was a part of the group that was trying to work to do that. I always thought it would work. I really did. You take a look at, for example, I think the Alouettes at the time when they were playing in the Stade Olympique, and they weren't really drawing well, and then they moved to McGill, and they were selling the place out. Yeah. I just think it's a smaller venue, and that's fine. Why are we so hung up on putting a 40,000 seat stadium that we've put 18 to 22,000 people in a night? Why not have a 28,000 seat stadium that you get almost full every night? And so I think the city of Montreal would love it. I think it could succeed there, and hopefully. Especially with technology these days, the way they're building stadiums with the retractable roofs and all those kind of things, and sliding glass panels, you could have it for the beginning of when it's cold. I do. One day I see it. If it's not surviving like it is in Tampa, then why not give somebody else a chance to make it happen?
Yeah, I'm with you. It's all about facility. Hey, Ryan, just before we let you go, quickly, I know this is a serious subject, but what do you think of the job Rob Bamford is doing as commissioner?
Yeah, not easy. I'm glad I don't have that job.
Yeah.
I wish personally, I just wish things were handled differently. Like it just seemed, but that's what happens when you're dealing with $1 billion industry. There's media and manipulation and things like that, and who says what and how it's all used. But it's not an easy task. It really isn't. And I think the players handled it all really well through it all. There wasn't much said, and when it was a pretty unifying statement. And I'm sure, if you talk to Rob, I'm sure he learned a lot through all this, kind of going through that. He was a lawyer for the owners for years before becoming commissioner, but to be the man ultimately in charge of it all, like I said, I'm glad I'm sitting here talking to you guys and not having to manage any of that kind of stuff.
Ryan, thanks for joining us, and congrats on kid number 5. We'll put you in touch with an old client of ours. His name is Dr. Pollock. Thanks, Ryan. All the best.
You guys, you bet.
You bet.